only ever debated by a select few seemingly crazy theoretical scientists, physicists, mathematicians, and philosophers. Today, though, the multiverse is everywhere. It's a general concept that has well and truly broken into the mainstream, used as it is as a key plot device in so many science fiction storylines. Broadly, it's the suggestion that there are other universes beyond our own, and usually that every universe combined is in some way connected to an overarching whole that we then call the multiverse. Still though, the multiverse isn't only the plaything for superheroes and comic books, and it remains a deeply serious, potentially life-changing field of technical and scientific research. Many of the world's top thinkers have lent their thoughts to the subject, although today we're focusing on the ideas of Max Tegmark in particular. Tegmark is a Swedish-American physicist and MIT professor who's actually best known for his extensive work on the future and impact of artificial intelligence. However, he has also famously contributed a 4-tier model as to how the multiverse might actually work. Writing for Scientific American in 2003, he outlines his parameters. In Tegmark's multiverse, Level 1 is beyond our cosmic horizon. He describes it as, quote, the least controversial type, and it concerns the potential infiniteness of the unobservable universe. That is, there's the possibility for tweaked physics and alter egos somewhere beyond as far as we can see. Next, Tegmark refers to Level 2 as being other post-inflation bubbles. Here, he predicts that there could be, quote, an infinite set of distinct Level 1 multiverses, some perhaps with different space-time dimensionality and different physical constants, end quote. These distinct multiverses would likely exist as though inside bubbles along another higher infinite plane. For Level 3, Tegmark explains it as being quantum many worlds. It relies on the famous many worlds interpretation, first proposed by the American theoretical physicist Hugh Everett in 1957. In short, at Level 3, you have all of the multiverses already made possible via Levels 1 and 2. Only all of that is made infinitely more intricate by the quantum branching of reality at every single moment, whenever a decision is made or a random event occurs. Then finally we come to Level 4. In his piece on Scientific American, Tegmark summarizes it as being other mathematical structures. In presenting this, his highest rung to reality, he says, quote, the initial conditions and physical constants in Level 1, 2, and 3 multiverses can vary, but the fundamental laws that govern nature remain the same, end quote. But then he asks, why stop there? Why not allow the laws themselves to vary as well? Now Tegmark enters into a supreme dimension in which literally anything really is possible. Why not a universe with no quantum effects, he asks. Why not one where time comes in steps instead of being continuous? Or one where the universe is, quote, simply an empty dodecahedron? One of the reasons why Tegmark's Level 4 immediately demands attention is because it seemingly tackles the eternal problem as to why mathematics is like it is. In general, mathematics is what physicists fall back on last of all, in search of some kind of structure and predictability for the universe. However, at Level 4, even this is subject to change. It's the highest level because it's also the last bastion of conventional scientific thought to give way. So, and to return to our opening question, what would it be like to live at such an exalted state of being? To start, Tegmark himself concedes that it's no easy task trying to imagine how Level 4 would work. Writing about the universe aloud at Level 4, he says, quote, existing outside of space and time, they are almost impossible to visualize, end quote. Clearly then, everyday life for a Level 4 entity would be akin to everyday life as the highest of all gods to our minds. To picture such an existence is to conjure up images of supernatural power and total omniscience. It's simply not something that the humble human mind as it is could properly comprehend. A Level 4 might be split, though, between the large and small-scale phenomena that it would encounter. On the one hand, at Level 4 you can view an endless tapestry of possible realities as though from above. Imagine holding a handful of sand on Earth, but then knowing that every grain of that sand also doubles up as an infinite multiverse in its own right. To us, the multiverse is incomprehensibly huge, but at Level 4, the lower grades of multiverse are small and insignificant. Could you ever stop to consider every piece of sand as you walked along the beach? Yes or no? That's the scale at which a Level 4 being would have all of reality laid out in front of them. On the other hand, however, nothing knows more about the smallest things possible than a Level 4 power. So regardless of its ability to view even the largest possible structures from afar, it would also know all that there is to know about the quantum realm as well, or about the quantum equivalent in all other mathematical universes where quanta isn't actually present. The many worlds interpretation, while mind-boggling for us, would be mundane to it. The splitting of reality along every possible crevice of chance and decision is something that our science fiction has had a lot of fun with in recent years, but at level 4, it's as everyday as oxygen. Next, there's the question of time. Although again, even it might not be that important once you ascend to level 4 proper. For us, time is everything. Whether or not it's an illusion, it's what guides everything we do, every way we live, and it's what defines every cause and effect in our universe. But at level 4, it may be that time is nothing, that it's merely a physical property by which some, possibly an infinitely tiny fraction of universes are governed. Step out of those universes and perhaps time is no more. Again, at level 4, anything is seemingly possible. Of course, the bizarre realization is that if a level 4 multiverse does exist, then we're already experiencing everyday life within it. Sure, we may only ever know an impossibly small part of what level 4 is in its entirety, but still, we're here. If Tegmark's level 1 rings true, then one implication is that there must surely be different versions of ourselves even within this universe. Such is the nature of infinity. If level 2 hits the mark, then there could well be any number of other life forms and environments somewhere beyond the cosmic bubble that we're ultimately held within. At level 3, there's all of that, plus the infinite re-renderings along an endless quantum plane. At level 4, there's all of that, plus an infinite number of mathematical reworkings, within which any number of other possibilities could ultimately unfold. But again, it's no less true that we already are living everyday life within that higher, grander reality. Naturally, there are follow-up questions. Not least, are we safe here? And could we ever hope to tap into the higher powers that Tegmark imagines could be possible? In terms of safety, perhaps there's no knowing, but perhaps it's also not worth worrying about. It's a fact of life that there are forces in existence that could snuff us out at any moment, just in this universe. Be that a sudden asteroid strike or the fatal eruption of vacuum decay. And yet, we don't allow the fear of those to derail our lives or societies, so we shouldn't really need to ponder level 4 with particular pessimism either. In terms of the potential for human beings to break into the multiverse at any level, the future is far from clear. Right now, the multiverse in general is an idea without empirical evidence. It's a theory that's seemingly growing stronger and stronger by the day. But still, and as with so much else about the true nature of reality, it remains shrouded in mystery. What do you think? Is the multiverse real? And if so, could it really be as extensive as Max Tegmark imagines? For now, that's what everyday life would be like at level 4. Although, whether or not we could ever make it so far is very much still up for debate. In the modern world, it seems as though science and technology is developing and improving at a faster than ever pace. Compare where human society was 100 years ago to where it is today, purely from a technological point of view, and there's a vast chasm of difference. So much has changed between then and now that, were you to somehow travel back in time to the 1920s to inform people alive then of what was to come, they likely wouldn't believe you. But equally, when we look into our own future and try to predict what's on the horizon, it can be hard to picture how the